Mr. Speaker may recall that during the comments on this budget, the minority raised this serious issue of cut and paste budget. No effort has been made to address this. And day in, day out, our friends get exposed. We keep exposing them. Mr. Speaker, if you look at this 2026 budget, compare the content to the very budget they criticized, 2024 budget, you realize that some phrases, some paragraphs were just lifted. We pointed it out to them. They will not even take their time to read the entire budget to correct it.
Abusia asem asi. Honorable Council Ato Forson aye na yenim se wo finance minister. Sesi de naso aye hye pa e wo Ghana Parliament House. Enchi ye bia na oba bebridi 2026 budgets sika ye de bebo oman no ho bra e wo 2026 no. Ode ebeto Parliament na sesi ye no ukọ Parliament a omugusu a omu ebobo ho. Na enwuma binum wo ha wa ya Honorable Afenyo Markin and Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah a omo eka omo no mo CEO mighty minority no ho no omo expose Ato Forson big time. Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah esole e kan say NDC for mo the budget yi ababeto Parliament mo pese ye boa mo na ye approve budget se na ebe ya 2026 mo betimi adi moduma na enso mo ankasa kura mo prepare budget no ase budget no mo kan ye because there are a lot of discrepancies nyuba binum ho ha ensisi so na mo ankasa se mo kan ye mpo anka mo adwen ebeba so na esan se mo ankasa mo kan ye na embom budget no kura mo prepare no enyam na mo prepare because 2024 NPP finance minister na wo ho no ne budget o prepare e de ba Parliament e na moye cut and paste omo e the evidence actually say page say asem say e na e wo ho e wo NPP budget no mu but mo so mo di hamodi abai ukọ page say ya the same thing e na e wo ho enti e cut and paste menua asem a Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah abobo so e wo Parliament no esewani ensese ye kan edichiro Ato Forson obia ebo na baso se de we a oye ne nuoma no eye ebeboa oman Ghana nanso NPP for kan say we incompetent because omo say budget kura no ontumi prepare NPP for de na wakwakọ wia odi ababeto Parliament say omo approve uhwe video no ewia na akọ comment section ho na wakire wadwen unya unsubscribe yin so amesro so obe subscribe like video we so na aboa amawi biara aye kama enti Kojo Oppong Nkrumah ekasa ewie no na minority leader kwamna Afenyo Markin so no so osoleye na wo say die me colleague yo kan yi eno a eno no NDC for why are you doing this samohwe na sa ho kire bi ewo baabi a adentina monto nsa enfreye na ye moa mo na mo prepare budget na mo prepare ni yie se ne ebe ya ebeboa oman Ghana na de mu ye yi de moye amagana for edi mo ho yaw menua me ma me kasa enye tenti yenko na yenko ti Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah na semu a okaye na ye wia ye de Afenyo Markins de no so ebetoa so edi amamu na boa ama bibiara aye kama besrew ansa na behwe video no wunya subscribe ya aha ya Agenda TV Ghana subscribe like video we share na comment biara nso a owo after say wa hwe video no edi akwa ye no na ko comment section no wa kire wa hwe me da wase ehwe video no emra yakoba ebetoa so
support the adoption of this report. However, Mr. Speaker, there are a number of fundamental issues that I think need to be addressed before this report requesting for about 5 billion for 2026 is approved. Mr. Speaker, in the budget, the Minister for Finance has submitted a report on the utilization of funds for 2025. And there are major discrepancies in the reporting on how those funds, especially under the big push, have been utilized. And Mr. Speaker, if it's possible, my prayer will be that we step this down and correct those discrepancies. They are very significant, running into billions of cedis. And when we are done with that, then we come to make a new allocation. I'm even of the view that the 5 billion is not enough, and it's important that we do a better allocation. But the foundation on which we are building this new allocation is problematic. Mr. Speaker, First of all, if you go to Appendix 3C of the 2025 budget, you will find that in the domestic capital expenditure allocation of about 7 billion Ghana cedis, there was no allocation as part of that for payment for the big push. In fact, the big push was set out separately from that 7 billion. If you come and look at the Appendix 2C in the 2026 budget, the numbers don't add up. And Mr. Speaker, if you give me just a bit of latitude, I want to draw the minister's attention.
This is the main budget you are referring.
Yes, I do have it here. And this is the foundation on which we are mounting this new application for the 5 billion. And that's why I think it should be corrected as a matter of urgency. First of all, in the 2026 budget, which reports on the 2025 allocation, the Ministry of Finance said that they had allocated 13 billion for the big push, 8.8 coming from ABFA and 4.8 from the mineral royalties. As at the end of September, they had programmed that they will spend 9.9 billion on the big push. The first challenge, Mr. Speaker, is that the report claims that they have spent 10 billion on the big push. Why that cannot be correct is that the big push was launched on the 16th of September. It cannot be possible that between the 16th of September and the end of September, as this report is saying, 10 billion cedis worth of certificates of some sort had been presented, processed, and paid within that 2-week period. Between when, no, this is a very serious matter. Let's not play with it. It's not about 24-hour economy. We are trying to correct the data. Let's take it seriously. Between the 16th of September and the end of September, Mr. Speaker, it is not possible that 10 billion cedis worth of construction work had been done, certificates issued and paid for. Mr. Speaker, if you go further, you will find that, as I mentioned earlier, in the original allocation of 7 billion, there was no provision for old contractors to be paid under the big push, if you check the Appendix 3C in the 2025. In this new budget, we are now being informed that 3.3 billion cedis of the 7 billion cedis that was supposed to be used for paying old contracts is going to be paid to old contractors under the big push. Again, Mr. Speaker, it becomes difficult to reconcile the two. But my last point that is most worrying, again, if you look at the data, Mr. Speaker, as at the end of September, the Ministry of Finance reports that they have paid 5.1 billion from the Minerals Royalties Fund under the big push. And then they project that by the end of December, they will collect 1 billion back from the contractors. It's not possible. Money that has been paid out, Minister, cannot be taken back from those contractors. So if you look at the Appendix 2C, it says that 5.1 as at the end of quarter 3, but what they will record at the end of the year is 4.9, Mr. Speaker. So if you look at the numbers that have been presented by the ministry responsible for finance, it doesn't add up. Mr. Speaker, there's a suspicion that old contractors are being paid, but it is being captured as though they are being paid for the big push program. And that will be very deceptive to people, because people's understanding is that contracts are being given, certificates are being presented, and they are being paid for. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm of the view, respectfully, that before we approve this new 5 billion allocation, these are not small sums of money we are talking about. We should, as a matter of urgency, maybe stand this down and get these numbers corrected and aligned properly, so that when the new allocation is being done, we are sure that the reporting will align as well. I thank Mr. Speaker. This is my contribution to the report.
Well, Mr. Speaker, if you look at this 2026 budget, compare the content to the very budget they criticized, 2024 budget, you realize that some phrases, some paragraphs were just lifted. We pointed it out to them. They will not even take their time to read the entire budget to correct it. pages 75 and 76. Those pages are there. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the money that has been allocated to the presidency, the money, compensation alone, Mr. Speaker, is more than what is being given to a whole ministry. What a reset government. And this is a reset government that is talking about due process. They say, as for them, their governance will be pepe, everything will be pepe. Danake MPP. Mr. Speaker, if you look at table 3, there is a huge scandal at table 3, paragraph page 6, table 3, a huge scandal. I don't know whether they themselves have reported this to the OSP. Mr. Speaker, I don't know. Look at table 3, capital expenditure. Do you have the report? You're asking for page what? Do you have the report? Do you have the report? Honorable, do you? You have the report? Pardon? You have the report? Okay. If you have the report, go with me to page 6, table 3. I want the chief whip for the majority side to finish reading the page. Is he there? Okay. Now, Mr. Speaker, capital expenditure 2025 appropriation, what we approved in this house, 83 million. Releases 92 million. Somebody must go to jail. Then when you come and see actual expenditure, 92 million, variance, negative 9.4. Somebody must account for this 9.4 million. This is not my report. This is not my report. And you are saying that releases are in excess of 111%. How can you spend what has not been approved by Parliament? Please. Mr. Speaker, they cannot tell us that we approved expenditure item. There's expenditure line. Look at the line item, Mr. Speaker. Is the reason why we have compensation of employees. We have goods and services, and we have capital expenditure. Don't tell me that you are putting all the figures together to confuse me. In the list, I understand these numbers. I've been here for 4 terms. Mr. Speaker, capital expenditure, what Parliament approved as a line item expenditure, capital expenditure, 83 million. If you look at the actual releases, they have spent beyond the amount that this House approved. We are not interested in total envelope. The auditor is interested in the line item. Yeah, line by line. Mr. Speaker, has anybody been sent to the OSP? They came here to talk about the PFM Act. Mr. Speaker, it is clear that many of you are likely to go to jail. From what I am seeing, Mr. Speaker, just year one alone, only yesterday, you were on us. The slightest mistake, you'll be inviting MPP appointees to go to OSP, to go to NIB. Mr. Speaker, look at the line item. The excess of 9.4 million Who authorized this to be released? Who authorized it? Mr. Speaker may recall that during the comments on this budget, the minority raised this serious issue of cut and paste budget. No effort has been made to address this. And day in, day out, our friends get exposed. We keep exposing them. The figures that the respected member for Ofuasia Yerbi just put out, it appears this budget was never scrutinized. And we are being called upon, approve. If you say you've done some payment under big push, look at when the big push announcement was made, the period, and then you are allocating figures in excess of 7 billion, claiming that you have made some payments. You launch big push, you say you made payment to contractors under big push in less than a month. Mr. Speaker, this can be nothing less than a very lazily prepared budget. You just putting out the numbers. You don't do any due diligence. You come to this parliament, you didn't scrutinize. You mean you didn't read your own budget? We've told you time without number that your work, your governance, and its success will largely depend on the scrutiny that will come from this side. It's the reason why we always want you to be a bit more tolerant, because your 189 did not even spot this. You didn't spot it. Figures are just being bandied around. This is a time I expect you to rise on a point of order. Rise on a point of order, because these figures have become part of the records of this house. Mr. Speaker, that said, I'll move to the second leg of my observations.
Honorable Afenyo Markin and Hon, Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Omo Akasa, we enye intro Omo echa. They are saying what they are saying with evidence. Omo actually pages kura Omo eka ho asemono. Enti Honorable Ato Forson, yebesre say if free this year kwa no ya 2026 mu na se what 2027 budget ba monto to munoma yi send ye be ya this kind of mistakes no yen hia bibiem, because se koba say ya wo integrity ehun ebeto chima, because finance minister dey e was say we are competent na wo ankasa wotumi etena se na wo prepare wo budget na embom enye obi budget a obe prepare no e na obe kwakotu copy na wo dey ababeto parliament say omo approve abra NDC for no ona bo Kojo Oppong Nkrumah akora na wo ka oni Afenyo Markin no mo wo ka say NDC for na ankasa akora no ase budget no kora omo enkan ye enu nti di omo kan aye ade foforo e di ama omo na say ekoba say here mehia na entwa yi omo ye ama sa minority na omo eka no aye no kore na ye die omo be ye a oman Ghana e de no tumapa ebi fra no eno na ye hwehwe se ye parliamentarians no omo ebeye na emum enye ntokwa na enye nsem bi asebe meye NDC ninti NPP ni ya de papa da bi na meye NPP ninti NDC ni so ya de papa da bi enye sei na ye hwehwe enti menu ya wankasa wa hwe video no de omo ka no etisa and I say entisa. Go to the comment section actually why we na for go ho unya and like a video like na wo ho no na wa click so subscribe to this particular channel na the etwagu a efa politics ho no de eha na wo benya bia pe na wonya bi nso eti me de wo ebesi ha me ne wo ebesie bi me stro se wo behwe wo nso yi makrao bye bye.